vape in here?
Do it, dude. You could smoke meth in here.
I'm not smoking.
Let's get you pumped. So, if you hear that shit in like your truck, it'll fucking blow your speakers and shit.
Oh yeah, like any commercial on TV.
Yeah.
You can't hear it while the movie's playing, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah. You're like,
Some people some people send me messages and shit of them jamming to that, and I'm like, there's a whole song if you want to hear it.
this is an actual song.
There's an actual song if you guys want to hear
It's
it.
like a whole TikTok generation. I didn't even realize that was a song. I thought it was a 15-second clip of a song.
Well, the first intro was a lot slower, and I fucking actually made it.
Oh, okay.
So people were like, "Did you make this one too?" I was like, "I'm not that good.
No, I'm not that good.
I'm not that cool.
I'm not that cool.
Thanks though."
I tried, and it did not work out for me.
Yeah. Oh shit, man. So this is my buddy Jesse. How you say your last name?
Blanton.
Blanton. Okay, so the way it's spelled. I haven't known you for too terribly long,
Not lying.
but long enough to know a little bit. I know you like to party,
Oh yeah.
so you and I get along there. You're a fucking Marine.
I was so technically I was what we call a Greenside Corpsman, an FMF Corpsman. So, like the real deal, Fleet Marine Force Corpsman.
Okay. I was gonna ask you what that meant.
Yeah, it's Fleet Marine Force. In the Navy, you get warfare devices,
Mm-hmm.
and they signify the knowledge that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm what they call triple quad. I got my Fleet Marine Force, my aviation warfare, my surface warfare. I've been on a boat. I've been on like all of the things you could do in the Navy that you can think of. I got them done in 6 years.
No shit.
Yeah, somehow.
God damn.
Except for getting to go like the cool shit, like going to Japan. But I did get. I mean, I got to meet the president.
No shit. Which one?
George H.W. Bush.
The HW.
I had breakfast with him, and he's fucking hilarious.
I've heard good things about him.
Dude, he's a riot, bro. Him and his wife were right there, and it was like, I think he was turning 80 at the time. You know, he's insanely old right now. And he was like, this is my last year. For my birthday, I get to jump out of a plane, because that was his big deal, was jumping out of a plane on his birthday, because he was a pilot in World War II.
No shit.
Yeah, and he would jump out of a plane, and he was like, this is the last year, so if I don't make it,
He's all fuck it.
fuck it.
Dude.
Just like, and his wife's just like, you're such an asshole, and you're just like 80 years old, and they're still doing this.
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, they're great.
Are you from here?
No, I'm originally born in Norfolk, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Both my parents are Navy veterans.
No
My
shit.
dad is a former Master Chief Petty Officer in the Navy, and my mom was a chief. My dad's from Texas, which is where I spent most of my early years, and my mom's from Minnesota, which is where some of my favorite family is. And that's the way that works. But yeah, I was born in Portsmouth, Virginia. I was the 90s baby. I was the kid that was supposed to save the marriage kind of baby.
Yeah.
And that, that never pans out.
Didn't happen?
No.
Shit.
No. Like, to this day, I think I've seen my parents in the same room. Once they got divorced, I have some memories of them living in a house together, but even then, I don't remember them being, like, I want to say a unit, like a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't remember them ever being happy together.
Damn.
I have pictures where I knew we lived together, but my grandma used to tell me when I used to live with my grandma, and then my parents, once my dad got out of the military, they moved back, and then I had to move back with them. And the way the story goes is I walked up to my grandma and I was like, hey, Dad's been sleeping on the couch for about a month. what does that mean, Grandma? And
Right.
she was just like, oh,
shit.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know. The best way I describe it is it's a Southern Baptist family. Like, there's a lot of skeletons there,
Right.
and people that know the family know they're there, but we don't discuss those.
We're just not gonna talk about it.
We're just not gonna talk about that. Is your brother gay? Yeah, but we're not gonna talk about it.
He fucking might be, but whatever.
We're not gonna acknowledge that. We're not gonna.
Oh,
To the point
shit.
where, like, even you as like his brother, you can't. It would be weird for you to even ask or just to try to figure out where they're coming from or anything. You're just like, why is this such a problem? Like, why can't we talk?
Right.
Like, they're just like, no. Like, growing up, I realized my dad had money problems, and me and my grandmother would talk about it. But if I ever talked about it with my dad, it's a fight. Those are fighting words right there.
No shit.
And he will never admit to any of it or anything whatsoever. It's like that's the way both my parents are. This is why, like, my childhood is very gray. I know what my grandmother told me. I know what my parents have told me, but I also know they've been caught in lies, and it's not always right. But I mean, the best way I describe it is they were good people. My parents are good people. Like, if you met them, you would think they're good people. They're just shitty parents.
That's pretty common from what I understand.
Shitty parents.
So, how did you end up to be here?
Oh, it's just, a friend, I ended up doing a Tough Mudder, I think it was 2 Februaries ago, with a Marine Corps buddy of mine. And he was like, how's life? How's everything going? And I was like, I'm in New Mexico.
Oh, that's right.
I'm doing
You did
great
tell me
things.
you were doing things in New Mexico.
Yeah.
You did tell me that.
One of my best friends is from New Mexico.
Okay.
And I was down and out, and I said, I need a job. And he said, if you can make it to New Mexico, you got a job tomorrow.
No shit.
So I showed up, and then pretty much the same thing happened here in Arizona. I was like, man, I just need a change. I need something different. Which is one of the weird things about me. I pack up and leave just because I'm so detached from my family. Outside of my little sister and her niece, like, miss Christmas with the family? Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was in the military long enough that it's a non-issue. Like, my first deployment, we landed home in America on Christmas Day.
Oh, shit.
And my family decided not to be there, so since then, it's just been, nah.
That's fair. I can see where that would put you a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys don't have to come, but it would be really great to see you. And
Right.
they took that as like, you said we didn't have to come. And I'm just, I did say that, but I got it. Got it. You guys really didn't fucking want to come. Fine.
What years were your deployment?
My first deployment was 2011, pretty much all of 2011. Like May 2011, or no, March 2011 to December 2011. Both my deployments for Marine Corps wise were longer than they should have been. Usually in the Marine Corps, in the Army they do 1-year deployments, but you get a break. You get like a week back home. And to be honest, Army deployments are a little bit easier because you're further back, and you have a little bit more of the amenities that you normally have here in America. Whereas my first deployment, it was 40 Marines on a patrol base with Afghan National Army, and we didn't have running water. We had a pump, like one of those old school pump waters.
Yeah.
And so we didn't have showers. We had to build our own pissers. And we were patrolling every day. Like, there was 40 Marines, and we were out there, like, I think the nearest other patrol base was 2 clicks away, which is, click is a kilometer.
Okay.
So it's 2 kilometers away, and we didn't have trucks. It was just like, yep, good luck, walk it off.
Good luck.
Yeah, we were literally out there lost. We call it lost in the sauce. Just like, man, we took fire on that base a couple of times, and it was just like, man, we could just, and nobody would know.
You're right.
We'd be gone. But yeah, it's. Yeah.
I seen some of the service pictures you posted, so that was pretty crazy. It's crazy to see. I don't know why, like as a constant civilian like me, it's crazy to see somebody as a civilian. It's crazy to see you fucking strapped up or fucking in action. I'm like it honestly. I looked at it for a second. I was like, fuck, man, like you saw the shit.
Yeah.
The fucking shit. You were in the shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking... It's so wild to me, man.
It's wild. And it's vice versa, too. Like, I have friends that since I've been out almost 10 years now, I've got one of my friends in Flagstaff, and he's way younger than me.
Yeah.
But he was like a boot when I first got in. His name's Jones. And he's like, I don't even know what to call you because the only thing I really know you by is Doc. And I was like, that's what everybody calls me still. And he was like, that's what we're going with, bro. So, I mean, it's like those guys know me nothing other than just like that warrior mentality, like fight thing. And it's different. It's crazy. I've got friends that know me for so many different things.
Right. After only knowing you for a little bit of time, and seeing so many different degrees of who you are, it's just like, I don't even know. I know that you're straightforward. You're fucking. I'm pretty sure if there was a fight going down, you'd fucking be in the middle of it.
I love to end fights. The thing with me in fighting is I love them, but at the same time, I loved them for so long that usually when I get involved, nobody's happy about it. Even if I'm on, if all the girls are on our side, we're doing it right. There's a certain point in which they go, hey, you should have stopped like 20 minutes ago, bro.
Hey, man. Hey.
Hey, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Dial it back.
Dial it down.
Did you, where'd you go to high school at?
I went to like 4 different high schools in
Texas.
Shit. Yeah, that was my parents. They were great.
They were great.
Yo, Child Protective Services, they're so great because you can just take a class and you're a better parent now. So much of that, and just like I said, my parents were very good people, but not good parents. My dad is a career man, like love it or hate it. He went to Master Chief, which is like the highest rank you can reach in the Navy as an enlisted person. So I do respect that. And the guy also, even after that, he retired as an adult probation officer. Like he's literally had 2 careers, but he's that guy. He shows up, he does really good at his job. But as a dad, his 2 favorite mottos were spare the rod, spoil the child, and just cuz. It's like it was always, why are we doing it? Just cuz.
And what was he? You said he was.
He was in avionics, so he was a Master Chief, and
in the Navy.
In the Navy, yeah.
Fuck.
Which is like he was super. I'm not even sure exactly what all his job was in avionics, but I mean he was apparently pretty decent at it. I mean, and I kind of followed in those traits. The military was like it was easy for me. It was. Maybe because both my parents were in. Hell, my family's been in for the longest time.
Right.
I own my. When you check into boot camp, they give you like a little manual or whatever. It's called a Blue Jackets manual in the Navy. I don't know what they would call the Army or the Marine Corps, but I know they give you like a little booklet on all the information you need to know. And I have his from like 1932.
Oh, no shit.
Dude, I gotta show it to you one time. You'd love it, dude.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
It shows fucking like the pay chart,
Yeah.
and it's like $8 a month. And you're like,
Ooh.
I couldn't even imagine sending all that money home because that's like what they did back then. You know, you sent your money home.
Yep. Send it to your wife.
Yeah, send it home or to your mom and dad. You know.
Yep.
You should send $4 home this month.
It's gonna be a good month.
Living high on the hog, doing good things.
So if they were both Navy, why Marine?
So I joined the Navy because
In all respect, to be honest.
no, well, the reason it worked out Marines is because the Navy corpsman is trained by the Navy because the Marine is the lowest funded of all the branches.
Unfortunately.
So,
Yeah.
well, it's kind of for a few reasons. Well, and they do it because there's a mentality to it, and it's insane to see. There's a brainwashing part to it that's insane to see. Like, man, I've met guys that come out of high school that would lay down their life for me just knowing that I was a Navy corpsman. Like, I've had a guy tell me it's when I first showed up in Afghanistan, they told us, you think being a war that, you know, you're a medic, you get all the benefits of being a medic, nobody shoots at you. That's not the case. They tell you once you get over there, you got to take off anything that signifies you as a medic. And once you do that, the only thing left is your medical bag. So they ask the Marines to volunteer. Everybody's got to wear a bag with them. So the backpack, doesn't matter. They can't really tell the difference between a med bag and a backpack as long as everybody's wearing different bags.
Right.
Dude, every time I went on patrol, every Marine volunteered to wear a bag. Every single one of them.
No shit.
And if you asked any of them about it, it was, if I can guarantee that you live, that means everybody lives. Hell, if I die, all my friends still live. As long as you're here, Doc, we're okay.
God damn.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. And
Holy
you're just
shit.
like, dude, I just went through a crash course on fucking maybe 3 months in medical school.
Yeah.
And they're just like, Navy's big on medicine as a practice. And, I mean, they taught us a lot of stuff. Like DMOC is, I don't think they have it anymore, but pigs and their organs and their vital organs are very normal to humans. They use, this class. They used to take you out there, and it's like a little dog. They assign it to you. They're like, here's your pig. And then they shoot it. And they're like, save it. And you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you save it. And then they're like, okay, cool. And then they do something else to that pig. And they're like, save it. And you're like, oh my God. And at the end of the day, they end up killing the pig anyways. But you're like, I saved that thing 3 times.
Fucking really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
I brought a pig back 4 times one day.
I never heard that.
Yeah, well, because they wanted to keep that away from PETA, but I mean,
God damn,
because it's such good training. Like, you weed out anybody that's not going to be able to handle it.
Right?
At
Yeah,
that moment.
you're weeding out a bunch of shit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
God, my guest tomorrow, who's a family member of mine, was also a fucking Marine. Yeah, he was a fucking Marine. He was in Okinawa and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
I'm bringing that shit up.
Yeah, DMOC. DMOC was the thing.
I'm exposing that shit. Yeah, he was
It was by far one of the best courses I've ever done.
That's
like,
fucking,
I've never learned so much.
I mean, in all honesty, that's fucking smart, dude.
I mean, yes, it is terribly inhumane.
You brought that bitch back 4 times?
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
God, that's so awesome.
And then they're just like, oh, cool. You're like, well, I did all that for nothing.
Fix it again.
Do it again. Do it again.
Holy shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
well, so the Marine Corps lets the Navy train. Always have, always will, lets them train corpsmen. To the point when I was in, we were trained in Chicago, and we're so good. Corpsmen are so good that they moved the training down to San Antonio. It's Joint Forces training now. Like, everybody does it.
Really?
Because the guys that were leaving Army medic school were getting their paramedic license, and I'm better at my job than they are, and I was getting no turnover, like nothing.
As a Marine, what was your job title?
A corpsman. I was doc.
Okay.
I was doc. For me, at the end, I was what they call a senior line corpsman.
Mhm.
So you have what they call line corpsmen. Those are the guys that go out with the Marines. So for the only requirements in Afghanistan while I was there was 6 Marines and 1 Navy corpsman. You can go outside the wire with you, but you need at least 6 dudes and 1 corpsman.
Hmm.
You can leave with any variation thereof or more, but you have to have at least 6 Marines and a corpsman.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, it was always, like, and we were there on a base with 40 guys, and that all those guys are 19, 20 years old,
Mm-hmm.
wanting to prove themselves, and there's only 2 corpsmen for 40 Marines.
How old were you?
I was 22 at the time.
Okay, so a little bit older.
Yeah, I was just a little bit older, because I went to college. I wanted to play football. So I had to give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I did. Oh, well, actually, I didn't. I say it like I had to give it a shot. A coach told me I had to give it a shot, otherwise I would never. And he was right. But at the same time, I learned a lot. Like,
What would you play in football?
So in high school, I went to a very, very small school. So I was one of the bigger guys on the team, you
Sure.
know. And so I played defensive tackle and offensive line. But in college, I played linebacker.
Really?
Yeah.
Linebacker?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're fucking built, dude, but you're not tall and shit.
Oh, I'm not that tall, but like I was like Zach Thomas, middle linebacker. Like
No
that's
shit.
that's like my mentor. Oh, dude, I wanted to be 6'3". I
Yeah.
grew up in Texas, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I my dream was to be 6'3" and be a defensive end for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That was
Shit.
the dream. That was it.
You're a fucking brick shithouse for your height.
I tried. That was a dream, and I was gonna train for it, whether it was gonna happen or not.
Yeah, but instead Marines.
Yeah. And it worked out. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy the number of athletes you see. That it's another purpose. It's something to do. Like even corpsmen, I saw a lot of corpsmen are what we call buds drop out. Buds is the school to become a SEAL.
Right.
And those are the guys that just couldn't quite do it, which is an interesting thing because I met SEALs and I understand what it takes to pass buds,
Mm-hmm.
and that will be one of my regrets in my life is not trying out, but I should have, but I didn't.
I feel like for the little bit of time that I've known you, that you would probably be stubborn enough to figure it out.
There was
You'd have been strong and stubborn, you know.
Oh, that's what would have worked for me.
Yeah. 100%.
So I met a Master Chief that was a SEAL, and I mean, dude, he is probably 5'3", but just stacked, you know,
Right.
little stocky guy. And he was like, "Listen, if you just tell yourself, no matter what, you're gonna get through this."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "It's all mental." He's like, "That's what we're here to do. We're not here like physically. Most of you guys any average person, once we train you for 6 months, can handle all this.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have almost a year worth of training time to become like Chris Kyle, and you know, you don't just wake up one day and you're just like, oh, you're a brick shit house. We want you to be a Navy SEAL.
Right.
No, most of those guys train for it, and then you work at it." And he was like, and even those guys fail out. And he's like, it's just a mentality. If you tell yourself you're never gonna give up,
Fucking Chris
then you
Kyle.
can pass. Yeah.
Fuck. Well, it's after knowing the little bit that I know and seeing some of the pictures, you know, it always feels like an honor to me to get to meet a real serviceman, you know, somebody who's done time. Getting to talk to you and getting to talk to my guy tomorrow, Joey. You know, I love talking to you guys. You guys have a real perspective on what life really looks like outside of our cute little fucking box, you know?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, and then that's one of the things I try not to do, even myself. Like living over there for so long, you're like, I'll never take this for granted. I'll never take that for granted. Like food, never take for granted. Being able to pick out any food whatsoever I want and being able to just go get it.
right,
Like
any food all the time, it's all yours.
It doesn't matter what you want.
Right.
Maybe terrible, but at least you can go get it and have it. Like in Afghanistan, it's in the MRE, or it's whatever they have for you, and it may not, like Cliff Bars, those little meal replacement bars.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't even eat those or be around those because they were never really. I never liked them that much. But if you put peanut butter on them, they're edible and they're a good meal replacement. But I've eaten so many, I can't even stand the smell of them.
Have you done a pretty long stint without food?
Not too long without food because they do a good job of supplying you with food. But I've gone 6 months without a shower before.
Shit, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
My first appointment, like to the point we bought. You've been camping. You've seen the solar showers, like the bags. That's what we had for 6 months, and like at best, which it worked out because the climate in Afghanistan is a lot like Arizona.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit hotter. So I would fill my bag with water from our little well pump, and then I'd leave it out during the afternoon, let that thing get real hot.
It'd be hot, yeah.
As soon as the sun went down to where it was kind of cool,
yeah,
because it was like Arizona, except we weren't in Phoenix. We were more like out in the desert.
Okay.
So you had that brief period of time right when the sun went down to where it was like kind of cool, and then it got really cold. Like it wasn't that it got really cold. It was just that it went from 140 to 70, and that's a 70-degree difference. And you were like, holy shit, I'm going to freeze to death, bro. And you're like, no, it's 70 degrees outside. I'm perfectly fine. And you're like, no, but I feel like I'm going to freeze to death.
That's fucking crazy, dude. Oh, 6 months.
Oh, yeah, dude. One of the most vain people I knew, George Ortiz, he used, because the last 3 months it was wintertime. Dude, I wanted to shower. But the only showers we had were water bottles, and they were outside. And it was about 45 degrees during the day, and I was just like, nope, baby wipes it is.
Oh, so you took like some whore baths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I took a lot of whore baths.
Yeah, bro. Okay.
I'm a certified whore.
That's a little bit better. But goddamn, still, though.
But not a whole shower. Like, the first time I went, we had shower trailers and Camp Leatherneck, and I got there and I took a shower. Dude, I probably spend 5 minutes in the shower, tops on average. I spent an hour in that shower.
Yeah, I fucking bet, dude.
And I swear to this day, I still look like I do, but there was black shit come off of me. Like, I was like, I don't know what all that was.
You're like, I'm not even sure.
I'm not even sure what just happened right now. But it felt like so good. I sat there for an hour just letting the water run.
Think we should bust into this thing?
Let's do it.
You want it?
What flavor is that?
It's fucking strawberry Rita.
Nice.
I'm going to give you the first fucking... Oh,
oh,
God.
It's a squirter.
It's gone everywhere. You can have the first fucking half or whatever you want. Man. How is it? I think it's supposed to be like a fucking party starter, you know? It's supposed to be like...
If you put that on ice, that might be...
it's supposed to be like the beginning of the party, and we're already... Have you been drinking today already?
I had a beer.
A beer, okay. That's not shit for you.
No.
I know goddamn well.
No. I can't do too much while I'm moving, but...
I suppose that's not bad.
I feel like if you put some ice in there, and maybe...
Yeah.
It would just... Maybe if it was completely chilled, like chilled on the rocks or something. Not on the rocks, but...
Maybe
blended.
Blended. Yeah, there you go.
That's what I was looking for. Blended.
That's not bad. You want to kill it?
Sure.
Kill it. Go ahead. Hell yeah, dude. Do you have any fucking plans of going back or doing any more of that?
So, for me, that's a weird path because when I got out, it was 2014, was the Obama administration.
Okay.
We were downsizing. And the way Obama downsized, he didn't advertise to everybody. It was the easiest way to do it was to get rid of all the war dogs. So basically, I went my first deployment in Afghanistan. About 6 months later, I was in Kuwait. And I was in Kuwait, and I didn't even know when I was going to leave Kuwait, but I already had orders to be back in Afghanistan.
Holy shit.
And so, like, we got back from Kuwait in December, and then by May, I was back in Afghanistan again. So for a good solid 5 years, I spent, I think 6 years out of my Navy career. I spent a year and a half in Norfolk, and then the other 4 years with the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
And of that 4 years, I spent almost 3 of it in a foreign country.
Fuck, dude.
Like other than the training, and even then the train up for a deployment is like they send you to California for 29 Palms. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. That's a base out there. It's in the Mojave Desert.
Oh shit.
So that's the closest training to Afghanistan. That's the closest assimilation for most people. Like here in Arizona, it's different. Like even for me being a Texan, like going out to California, it was nothing. You know, like you're like, oh, what is this? This is a joke. You guys are tired?
Yeah.
This is nothing. Afghanistan, though, the real deal. Like we landed on the tarmac in a C-130, which is you exit out the back.
Uh-huh.
You've seen those pictures where they exit out the back. That's what we landed in Afghanistan. You commercial fly in all the way to Kyrgyzstan, which it'll blow your mind if you ever look at a map of Afghanistan close up. There's just like stand, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. There's all these stands, and somehow Afghanistan's the big one.
Yeah.
But we fly into Kyrgyzstan, which is where an Air Force base is, and then when you use a C-130 to fly in to a military base there.
Okay.
And dude, I am from Texas, and where I'm from in Texas, it gets about the same as it does here. But we landed on the tarmac, and my buddy Justin looked at me and said, bro, holy shit. And I looked at him, I said, bro, just wait. It's the exhaust coming off the plane engines.
Yeah.
And he looks at me and laughs, and I was like, what? And he's like, the planes already took off, bro. And I was like, fuck, dude.
Shit, man.
We're so screwed. Like the first day we landed in Afghanistan, we go to BZR rifles, like trying to figure out the exact, to zero in our rifle scopes and everything. We've got our scopes, so you know we traveled with them on an airplane with vibrations and everything. So the first thing you have to do is go to a range and make sure you're shooting at what you're shooting at. So we're walking, and dude, it was half a mile at best, and I'm talking about like 120 of some of the most in shape people you know. And by the time we were walking back, there was guys laying in the shadows and just dying, just like,
God.
It's so hot here. It was bad. It was terrible.
Fuck.
It was rough.
So like the military simulations and in the movies that you see, that's semi-accurate.
Some of it is semi-accurate. Like there's a lot.
I think. I mean, not to be completely fucking like cliche, but like fucking Jarhead. Jarhead emphasizes a lot on how fucking hot it is.
Yes, Jarhead. I didn't experience the same Persian Gulf War they did, but
Yeah.
I assume it's a lot like but they did a really good job of hitting on that. Like a lot of the problem with some movies is they hit on little tidbit inaccuracies, but some of that is real. Like some of it, like Band of Brothers, I love that show
Great
because
fucking movie, yeah.
it's so real. Like that's the way it is. Like man, when I got to Afghanistan, that's all I wanted to do was see it to the end. Like, and it's crazy. I've heard from a guy named Sebastian Younger talk about it
Uh-huh.
because it's like people are like, you're crazy. Why would you go back to war? Because it's simple there. It's kill or be killed. You're like, man, the level of respect that Marines have for Navy corpsmen is just unmatched. Like even leaving the service, it feels like falling from grace.
Really?
Like people don't have treat you the same. It's different. Like with Marines, and if you ever see a Marine meet me and find out that I'm a corpsman, that you see the way they change. It's different. It's just weird. They have a respect. And that's the crazy thing about the Marine Corps. That it's a when we talk about the military, people say there's only two branches. There's the Army, the Navy, and the Marine Corps is a cult, and the Air Force is a corporation.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're not wrong. Like the Marine Corps is in a lot of ways a cult. Like they worship the ground I walked on for a lot of reasons, for a lot of good reasons, and a lot of just like blown away reasons at the same time. But man, it's crazy how it works. Like at first you're like, man, I can't believe anybody would ever look up to me in that way. And then you find out, you're like, I would carve their name in my chest if that would save their life. Like I would do whatever it takes to save that person, just to not let them down.
Marines are those are the motherfuckers that go face to face with everything.
Yeah.
You know?
So
and
we
that's
used to
that's
say
the fucking thing.
that if you viewed everything as like a spearhead, the Army is the base of the spear, and the Marines are the tip.
Right. Exactly.
And they're the guys you send in first. We kick in the doors. We do all the bad shit. All the shit nobody really wants to do. And you take on all the other stuff. And then the Army comes in and occupies that space. And that's literally what they do.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's nothing against the Army, but that's the way it works, and that's the way it's done. Like, SEALs are badass. I love the SEALs. Love Special Forces. They're badass. But even Marcus Luttrell has said it. You send in 300 Marines, you're sending in 300 warfighters.
Oh, shit.
And they're there
Luttrell
for
said
it.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like,
okay.
like, the SEALs are the guys you send in, and if they do their job right, you never know about it.
Fuck.
Like Bin Laden, everybody knew about it because it happened. Marines are the guys that, like, the Battle of Fallujah, you knew. Like, we're sending in the Marines. Fuck you, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, when you send in the Marines, that's like the tax collector. We're kicking in your front door. We're here. Hello, this is America. And, like...
It's so true, though.
And then...
You guys are the face.
Yeah. Yeah,
Fuck.
and they are. Like, all those guys. It's crazy. Even the guys, you look at them and go, this guy... Oh, I could whoop his ass, no problem. That guy's still busting his ass trying to prove he can be that bad motherfucker.
Right.
And it's crazy.
Do you, and excuse me for asking, do you have any story or any experience that really stands out to you?
Oh, man.
Like,
there's so many in the military. Oh, man.
were you ever involved in any big, were you blown up or anything, or?
So
I feel bad for asking. I'm sorry.
So technically, I've almost been blown up. I've been, as a corpsman, you're usually the target of being blown up.
Right.
I've had a lead Vic in front of me get blown up. And so this is a crazy part. Like the movies, if you've ever seen like the movies, I think my favorite one is SWAT.
Oh yeah.
When they take out that first thing where they blow up the first truck, And the last truck, that's what they do in Afghanistan. That's a real thing. That's an ambush tactic. And we met that tactic. And the way the Army deals with it is you fight back. The way the Marine Corps deals with it is if somebody punches you in the face, you start punching them in the face so many times that they don't know what to do about it. They're just like, this is a full frontal assault, guys. Like, so if you get stuck in an ambush, like an L-shaped ambush, people are shooting at you from this side, people are shooting at you from this side.
Yeah.
The Marine Corps mentality is blow through a side.
Take out the wall.
You take out one side,
Right.
and the shit is chaos then, and everybody goes haywire, and then you turn back around, and that's how the Marine Corps works. Like what you're doing is legit against what everybody thought you would do, and it's so crazy and insane that they couldn't do that. To the point where when the lead Vic blew up, I was to it in probably less than a minute, and you're not supposed to leave your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that I had friends in that vehicle said, and I told this to my sergeant, like I could sit here and wait, and I will never learn to live with myself again, or I can try and die and live with the fact that I tried.
Right.
But not trying is not something I can do.
Fuck, man.
But as far as like really bad stuff, I was at a mortar accident in Nevada that was probably, at the time, it was right before the Boston Marathon bombings, if you remember those.
I do, yeah.
When the country went on a big manhunt. We were like a week or two before that, but like it blew up news. Like I could find YouTube clips of the video news of the mortars going off. To the point, like even Joel, my roommate, who was ex-Army, like I was like, do you remember when they stopped firing 60 millimeter mortars?
You say Joel?
Nah.
Like the Joel I know?
Yeah, Joel.
He's ex-Army?
Yeah, he's ex-Army.
No shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he was a sniper.
Oh God, I gotta talk to him.
Yeah, he was a sniper. But to the point, like when I asked him about when it's like the accident happened, and it was so prolific that even in Afghanistan they pulled out the firing of all 60 millimeter mortars. Like they didn't know if it was a tube malfunction, or if it was a human error, or what it was. There was an investigation.
Jesus Christ, man.
I mean, it was, and it still is one of the worst accidents that ever happened. Because it was 29 Palms. Well, it's outside of Reno, Nevada. Hawthorne Army Depot. And it's out there in the middle of nowhere. It's hard to get to. It's super hard to get to. And we were basically on the side of a mountain. And one of those mortars, which looks like a Nerf ball. And you drop it in the bottom of a tube. And it's the same concept as a gun. Your firing pin is just centered on the bottom of the tube.
Right.
So once it hits,
it's supposed to fucking thump.
It should automatically just, it's like a bullet. It's a rocket propelled grenade, really, is all it is.
Right.
And basically what they said it was a double feed, and this is super hard. Even if you think about it as a civilian, like some guy, and it's a team of 4 guys, grabs a mortar, drops it down a tube, grabs another one, and drops it down the same tube before the other one shoots out.
Right.
At rocket speed.
Right.
So I'm not completely sure on whatever happened, but I can tell you that one of those grenades went off about 3/4 of the way through the tube.
God damn.
And it sent shrapnel every which way and sideways.
Yeah.
And it was frayed. It was like, remember those old cartoons where the blown out shotgun?
Yeah, it's all
where
fucking.
it's just like,
yeah.
That's what the end of this tube looked like.
Oh,
like
God,
a solid
really?
Steel tube, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
And just shrapnel went everywhere. One of my friends, Burke, I think the piece of shrapnel in his shoulder was about 6 inches.
Oh.
When my replacement, Ian McClanahan, is 6'3". He was my direct replacement for this movement, and he lost his entire lower jaw. Like just gone. He's still got his tongue, and it's insane. They took his, I think it's his femur, and they crushed it up and reformed his jaw.
No.
Yeah, we're talking about, like, dude, Ian, absolute monster of a human being. Like, I remember being there, and as I'm treating Marines for their injuries, Ian is literally sitting there, and he's like this. And I remember looking at him. I'm like, "Are you good, bro?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, something's not right.
Right.
But I kept going because he was like, "That guy," and I could finally walk over to him, and dude, at that point I realized I could see his tongue starting from like here.
Oh no!
And the only reason he's got his hands up here is because if he lets his tongue slip down, he can't fucking breathe.
Right, he's gonna swallow it.
Yeah, and he's just telling me what to do.
Oh.
And so yeah, love that guy.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, that's one of those. He was my my subordinate, and we had just been on the mountain, and he didn't understand the way things work, and I had to let him know, like, at that time I was what we call the senior line corpsman. So you're in charge of all the corpsmen. You have 8 other guys, and it's your job to make sure all your Marines are taken care of. Like, as a corpsman, you have 120 guys. They're your responsibility.
You walked up on a guy fucking holding his jaw so he didn't swallow his tongue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just fucking...
Just holding it up just so he could breathe.
That's rough, dude.
Dude, yeah.
That's fucking rough, man.
Man. One of the most insane stories I've ever had is some shit you want to know. Like, so I don't know if you've ever met anybody or heard about anybody ever having a stroke, but you lose, like, one side of your brain is severely affected, and you lose most of your feeling, and it kind of just goes limp on one side.
Right.
I met a guy in Afghanistan that this happened to him. Like, clearly he had a stroke. And I was like, bro, translator, we need you. I gotta know. Because there's no hospitals. There's no nothing. Like, when I was in Afghanistan my first time, the award that has been written for me says I treated over 560 people while I was there.
You?
Yeah. And I wasn't even there for 180 days. So you can only imagine, like...
Yeah. God
dude,
damn it.
But this guy had a stroke, so I was like, bro, I want to know. So the story is, and this is what the translator told me, homies out there just, this is old school, like, Revolutionary War farming. They're just farming.
Right.
Back in the day when you farm, when it's cool in the morning, and then you go home and take a nap when it's stupid fucking hot outside.
Right.
And then you go back out and work in the evening. But homie was out there just working, and this is what he told me verbatim. He said, a ghost hit me, knocked me down in the field working. And this is what blows my mind. He's like, and then I woke up a couple hours later and got up and just went home. I'm just like, you survived a fucking stroke, my dude, and just got up and walked it off.
He's like, I'm good.
I'm good. He's like,
fine.
Ever since then, this side of my body hasn't been working right. I don't know what that's about, but that's the way it is. And I was like, God damn, bro. But he said a ghost. So I was like, dude, a ghost hit you?
Yeah. That was the first thing that caught my... I was like, what?
Yeah, but even just the ability to have a stroke and just be like, oh shit, that was a rough one right there. I don't know what happened.
You get up a couple hours later out of a field, you're like, wow, all right, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna go back to the
I'm
house.
gonna walk this off, guys. It's like, Because this is a good time to call it a day. Fuck, holy
Yeah,
shit.
I guess I'll go get some water now. You know.
Yeah. guess I'll go home now.
Fuck, man. Well, you sure got some fucking. I'm sure you got a million more stories to tell.
Dude,
Yeah.
I've got so many stories. Man.
Would you mind it all coming back a second time?
No, not at all, man. Not at all.
I'd love to have you again, man. Your stories got me fucking just tingling. I'm like,
Dude, I've got some stories, man. Yeah, next time, yeah, for sure need to come back, talk to your Marine friend,
yeah.
ask him what it's like to have a corpsman. Because I can tell you what it's like. It's imagine having two of some of the dumbest guys you know,
Yeah.
and they're just like say you walk up on them, and they're like, should we jump off the 3rd-story roof? No, probably not. I bet you don't have the balls to do it. And then they turn around and they go, oh, we got a corpsman, it's fine.
It's
and you're
all
like,
right.
no, that does not mean I can save your life from jumping off a 3rd-story building. But that's what they think. They're like, yeah, bro, we can do it.
Oh shit.
That's what they do. They're like, you'll see them like that knife game where you just fucking throw a knife between each other's feet.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is incredibly dangerous. And they're like, but there's a corpsman right there.
But we
And
have somebody that could save us.
I'm like, that's not a blanket for like your life is just not gonna you're not gonna die right
oh
now.
shit.
That doesn't mean if you put a gun to your head you can pull the trigger. You're good. You're good, homie.
Oh god, I love it.
But that's what they're like. Ask your Marine friend. That's exactly what Marines are like around corpsmen.
I'm excited to talk to him tomorrow. Would it be at all possible for if I could organize it to get you two together and talk?
Yeah,
Would that be cool?
yeah. That's not a problem. I live in Glendale.
Now you live right down the street, bro.
Yeah,
So
right down the street.
fuck yeah. Is there anything you wanna, any words of wisdom you'd like to leave us with for this episode?
Man. I don't know if I'm the one to spread any wise words.
That's all right. That's all right.
Oh, maybe Joe Dirt. Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. I'll take it. Well, I'm excited to have you back again, dude.
Hell yeah, I'm excited.
Your fucking stories keep me on edge. So, I'm super excited to hear more of it. And I'm even more so excited to hear how those things have treated you in this day and age, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the fun part that we're going to get to eventually.
Oh yeah.
You've been cool as fuck since I've known you. You and I
Okay.
we've had little words, but a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm
So-
a man of very few words.
I know, and I love it. We're good. So, as always, like, click, follow, subscribe. Please do all the things, and you'll get notified anytime Spotify has a new episode dropped, which is my main provider. And don't forget to leave comments in the bottom side of that. If you have any wants, needs, or comments, you can email us at meversemeinfo@gmail.com or leave them right there on Spotify. But we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.